Phil,
Hey,
it's time for you and I to discuss strategies if you're in the car market today. Are you ready for that?
let's do it.
Okay.
I'm
Give,
more than ready.
give me a good one. Give me one good, and then I'll try and come up with one as well. Give me one good solid strategy if you were in the market today for, say, a new car.
Don't buy one. If you don't need one, do not buy one.
That
But
is,
if
but
you
but
if you
assuming you need one,
if you need one, you need to do as much homework and as much effort to be put into getting as many quotes as you can get. So if you found the car that you want, let's say it's a Honda Accord, all right, and
okay.
you're start with your local dealerships, then start branching out. Get at least 10 quotes together. That's going to be your best chance of being able to leverage a good negotiation and to leverage something that's going to get you as close as you can to MSRP, if not be at MSRP.
Hmm.
When you're looking at vehicles in that $25,000 to $30,000 mark, these are the vehicles that are getting marked up and really kind of pricing people out of these cars.
Yes.
There are still deals to be had. They are still can be found. You just need to look and you need to be on it and you need to put the time and effort into getting quotes from as many dealers as you can get.
Want to know who the good dealer is in your neighborhood? Go to joinyaa.com and check out our crowdsourced dealer reviews. All of our community members coming together to help one another. So the hope would be to, at a certain point, maybe play one dealership off another.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think a strategy that I would add to that, if you're looking at a car like that, is to be flexible as to perhaps color and trim. Now, I understand sometimes trim has to be a certain trim level. Great. I can accept that.
Hmm.
What you have to be flexible on then is color.
Yes.
I look at the parking lot at the condo where I live. I see so many white cars, it's frightening.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who says, "Well, I got to have a white car," and there's no white cars available, then allow yourself to maybe look at other colors. What other colors might suddenly become acceptable so that you can actually find a vehicle? So
Yep.
there has to be a certain degree of flexibility.
Yeah, no. I would absolutely agree. And where this comes more importantly is that if you find a dealer that's going to sell you at MSRP,
Mhm.
you have to take whatever allocation that they have. So
Yes.
here's where the biggest flexibility is going to come into play. You can't just go in and order, say specifically, I want red with this trim level, with this radio, with this. You know, unfortunately, that is not how the market is. So you can only reserve an allocated unit and you have to be flexible with what they actually have coming in.
Especially when it comes to your most of your Asian brands of cars. They
Especially
don't
those.
do they don't do quote unquote factory orders.
Correct.
Cars are allocated to dealers on a monthly basis.
Correct.
Dealers can then, in many cases, request certain colors, which they're not guaranteed that they will get, but they can request certain colors in all the various trim levels that they've been allocated. So you can do your best to try and nab a vehicle that has been allocated to a dealer and hope to try and get the color that you want.
Hmm.
More than likely, you'll be able to get the trim level that you want. You might not necessarily be
Have the
able to get the
color.
color that, yes. No, going in, that in a lot of these cases, many of the dealerships' allocations are pre-sold
Mm,
for the next 60, 90, 120, 150, even up to 180 days, 6 months of
yep.
time that the stuff is pre-sold.
Correct.
So in many cases, you can reserve an incoming allocated unit. You're just going to have to be patient for it to finally arrive.
Yes. Yes. And if you have a trade, obviously do try not to bring that into the deal right away for a number of reasons, right? Number one, you're 3 to 4 months out,
Yes.
until you get the vehicle, and your value could potentially change. However, I do recommend, always go to CarMax, Carvana, see what they're valuing the vehicle so that
Yes.
you get some sort of an idea. If you're in an equity position, you can start planning for what potentially you're going to be able to get
Yes.
and how you can use that to sweeten your deal on the new car.
Well, I was going to say, if you have a trade, and if you are in the position where you can, what we call pre-trade it,
Yes.
where you might have another vehicle available to use while you're waiting for the new car to come in, so that you can guarantee the value of the vehicle as the trade-in allowance. You can trade it in now, and the dealer will then show whatever that amount was as the trade allowance when your new car comes in.
Sure.
So you can guarantee the value of your trade that way by pre-trading it so that it's already on the dealer's books. You'll always get the credit for that trade amount as a tax savings if it's in a state where you get the tax savings for having traded a car. So that's another strategy that one can use. If there are any incentives, and there's very few incentives today, the average incentive is just around $1,000, and most of your Asian brands are under $1,000.
Right.
If
If
there
any.
are any incentives, most cannot be locked in.
Right.
They're time sensitive. If they say it ends June 30th, it ends June 30th.
Yep.
I used to have customers when I was the mini store, and if something ended June 30th and then they'd come in on July 2nd, they go, well, just backdate it. I go, you're just asking me to commit fraud. I'm
Right.
not really in on that.
Right. Nope. Nope. Not going to do it.
Yeah, I'm not risking a jail sentence for you.
Yeah. No
Uh,
way. No.
so
No. Thank you.
so you have to understand that a lot of the incentives, when there is an end date, there really is an end date. Now that doesn't up. I just ran out of battery.
Oh no.
Oh yes, I just changed the battery pack. I'm done. I'm dead. We're done. I'm sorry.
Oh no.